Hello. Can't find the button to start the show. Found it. All right. We are up. I don't know if we're live. Let's check the other computer. Maybe. We are on. Hello, everybody. Give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. How's everybody today? Good, I hope. Got a couple of things in here. Chat with you guys in a second. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. It's always so weird. I cannot watch the show live on my phones. Probably because it's all like tied to the same account, right? Like it obviously makes sense, but like an extra copy, like so I can see it. All right, let me see if I can find something else. Hold on. All right. Monday at noon. How did everybody's spring break go? Did you guys get a spring break? My kids are going back to school this today, and they're not happy about it. I need like a slightly bigger table. I need like 3 inches. That's what she said. Like, okay. Try not to break anything here. Oh man, I got stuff everywhere. Maybe I don't need 3 inches. I just need to like reorganize everything a little bit. All right. 5 minutes to go. Welcome to the pre-show. Say hellos. Hello. I'm throwing a hello in the chats. Hello. Let's read you guys some ads. Hey, if you're here, you're watching, you're able, hit hello or a whimsy in the chat. Let me know you're here. See who's all hanging out with me today. Mom might be a little bit behind. She had an appointment. Maybe, I don't know. The timeline sounds correct. Whimsy with a Z. Oh man, that Z hit hard. Whimsy with a Z. Last week, Dean, Danielle. Interesting conversations with them. Dean starting to prepare for college. Danielle, what do you do if you're getting picked on a little bit? What's the best ways to defuse the situation? Today we're recording with Alice and Mark. So we'll have more episodes coming out for you guys on Friday. Regular Chasing the Whimsy. Episode dropped this morning. Liam's back. Had a real nice, chill, interesting, it was just a nice, simple podcast. It was nice. When did you do this for his spring break? What's he doing to get ready for nationals? Maybe make sure you like and subscribe, man. Those likes. Spotify, Apple TV, YouTube. Go to the Patreon even. That shit's free. We'll talk, there's still time on this one. But everything else I talk about gets patreon.com/chasing the whimsy. Hey, you want to help support Chasing the Whimsy? You want to see some cool stuff on the live streams? You want to see us go do some interesting things? Check out the Patreon. We just delivered blankets this week. So there's a gift here. If you guys want sweet, exclusive merch, check out Chasing the Whimsy on Patreon. Patreon.com/chasing the whimsy. Hey, I know a lot of you are working. If you're able to, shh, everybody just, okay, ready? Slowly open the drawer and then say hi. And then close the drawer again. Or it's just on your desk. So, sometimes you guys just listen, look around real quick. Is your boss looking? Hit me with the whimsy. Have your boss shoot me a whimsy. That'd be cool. I'll take that. Whimsy with the Z. New episodes coming this week. You'll get 2 of them. Mark, Alice. It'll be a good one. I'm curious to see what Alice is up to. Chasing the Whimsy proper. This is the Monday show. This is the OG. We got all kinds of cool stuff coming up. We have a lot of interesting conversations. We got to know Megan a little bit. Let's find out what she's up to. What Liam's up to. Why is he going to be gone for a little bit? Find out. Listen to the episodes. Yeah, I like the subs. Hit the subscribe buttons. Hit the thumbs ups. Hit the stars. The bells. Whatever thing is on there. Hit it. You see that love. You see that sub love. We're almost ready. Patreon.com. We're raising some money, not just for me. We're raising some money for the kids for the holidays. We're donating some money. Interested in helping out some kids? Reach out, let me know. We got tier levels, we got gifts, straight donations. So no reason not to give back just a little bit this year. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Live. It's Monday, so it's Whimsy Nooners. How we all doing, guys? All right. Welcome to the show. Numbers are like all over the place, man. People are like in and out. Who knows? Regardless, we're here Monday. It's noon. We're gonna find out a little bit about me, what I've been doing this week, what I've been watching on TV, and maybe I'll introduce you to something you didn't know existed in a rabbit hole. Um, I got no fun monologue today. No cute story. I do have one cute story. Let you guys in on a little uh, thought process of when I make the comics, right, or when I script them. Take a fun conversation that I have with somebody sometimes, and then I'm like, let's put that in a comic. You may see an upcoming comic of what a 5 year old, a 4 year old, going to be five, wants for their birthday. Um, she wants a robot. She wants a robot to help clean her room. Somehow she got like 6 minutes out of this conversation. Liam and I were like, "This is amazing." So there might be a comic coming up in which there's a little girl gnome and a robot. I don't know. Oh, I should have asked the name for the robot. I asked what it looked like because I was looking for the visuals. I should have asked the name of the robot. Could have been an ongoing thing. But yeah, you take a silly throwaway conversation, turn it into a comic. Now it's amazing. All right, everybody. I've been I've already recorded an hour and a half with somebody today. Uh, we'll get into that. Yes, we'll get into that. So let's get the show started. That little video transition, right? Well, I have a handful of them that I use, right? For whatever reason, after 52 episodes of Mind Pockets, YouTube flagged the music as copyrighted. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why now? And why did it choose at that time? I don't understand. Because it's part of like, I made them through uh, Render Forest, which is a website that helps make those transitions and everything, right? One would think that they're using royalty free music. So I don't know. The algorithm's been weird lately, picking up on weird stuff. I know we got hard copyrighted for the use of the wrestling stuff. But yeah, every once in a while, like, it wants to just try to take credit for something that's not theirs. Anyway, getting to know me. What have I been up to this week? You guys are going to find out what I have been doing this week. Um, one of the things is if you're not on the socials, we got a comic. So this week's comic, done by Kit. Kit, you're amazing. She just finished the first 6 pages of Lucid Dreams, the back rooms. So that's, I don't know what we're doing with that one yet, but that one's coming soon. But she also does this interesting comic for me. This one was Algo Has No Rhythm. This is a nod to Friend Podcast suggested articles podcast with J Sarge and Jeff. So J Sarge, with his Remedial M30 hat. We got this new gnome looking in here. What's he up to? Jay's like, hey, who are you? I'm Algo. Love the beats because J Sarge is making some beats. Algo's like, I got rhythm, and he's trying to like dance, but questionably dancing. And then Jay Sarge says, no, you don't. So, uh, just a cute play on words. Algorithm. His name is Algo, and it has no rhythm. I don't know. Jay likes it. Jay Sarge, he enjoyed it, but I do like that I have a new. We have a new gnome in the universe of Whimsy. Um, I do enjoy making new gnomes. I don't get crazy. So hold on, let's get you guys back over here. Um, it's interesting making new gnomes because I don't want to oversaturate it with the gnomes. But then I also run into the problem of how do you create? Okay, so I don't have eyes on gnomes, right? These are in black and white, so now there's no color. So it's always interesting to come up with a different way to make a new gnome that is unique to themselves. So I'll go here. Look at him. How cute this guy is. Like no joke. He might be my favorite thing right now. Look, his hands don't even fit in his sleeves. Um, like that's so much fun. There are at least three more of these coming. We have at least three more coming. Hey, Grandma. So thank you to Kit for drawing these for me. Thank you, Jay Sarge, for and suggested articles podcast on letting me create a cool little thing for you guys. So what else we've been up to? All right. Last week, okay, bunch of interviews last Monday. I recorded for what seemed like forever. It was a great day. I talked to Vita Bybee. I hope you guys enjoyed her episode. Andy left some comments in there. Um, fun time talking with Vita. That then turned into a discussion of Whimsy. Does Whimsy come up with a cookbook? Do we have a Whimsy's Taste of Memories or uh, something memory dishes? I don't know. We don't know the name of the thing yet, but it is interesting. Um, no hard no's anywhere. A lot of interesting, maybe. What does it look like? So um, I'm going to be pitching it probably pretty hard. Hmm. Definitely after July, and then definitely you got all the holidays coming up. So oh, we have birthdays coming up too. So I think this is shoot maybe even sooner than that, right? Because we got birthdays, so everybody gets a birthday dish that they like. But we're gonna figure it out. I said it would be the year 3 project, so we're still in year 2. But expect a cookbook coming out sometime next year. And then I talked to Dean and Danielle, and then I had a conversation with Mike. Um, so that's the archive, the black box up there. Similar to when I spoke with, I had a cousin I spoke with. I spoke with Mike. Hour and a half of just what have you been up to, and just kind of just touching base again, reconnecting, and everything else. So just a, like I didn't expect to record that much last week, but it was fun. 2 hours. Vito was an hour. That's 3. Mike was an hour and a half, 4.5, and then the live stream, which ran an hour and a half. So what was that? Like almost 5, 6 hours, 6, 7 hours. It was a good time, man. Um, Today, also recorded with another cousin. What's interesting is, so here's what we found out. All right, if I go on Facebook and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to you about something, right? Like, to be fair, if I received a random message from somebody, I would probably be a little wary also. But I did talk to a cousin. He was like, I didn't know what this was about. I didn't know what you were doing. But we talked for like half an hour and a half today. Which, okay, so I don't have any of the logistics of this thing yet. But next week, you won't hear for at least another 2 weeks because it'll be next. I'll schedule it this week and then probably like next Tuesday, Wednesday, hopefully. Um, Cousin has his parents coming up to visit. So conceptually, I'll have cousin, two brothers, his mom and dad, which would be my aunt and uncle, and my two other cousins. So super interesting. He threw it out there. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, mom and dad are going to be up here next week." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, maybe we get them on." I'm like, "Absolutely." So we'll keep you. So next Monday, you'll get an update that says, "Yes, I will be recording and hanging out with some of those people." Uh, Slow, very slow. It's coming together, but I think it's an appropriate slow. Once, like, to be fair, um, 3 hours across 2 weeks, technically like 4.5 hours with different people. Um, so yeah, just really good times. We're gonna convert some stuff over and then we'll re-record for the podcast. But um, slowly, we're gonna the cousins uh, will hear about it and then realize that all my requests to talk to them are legit. So I think that was part of the issue problem is they're like, I don't know this guy. I haven't seen this guy in 20 years. Why is he emailing me? So um, thank you to the two that did talk to me. Let me know that like I'm on the right track. It's really interesting conversations. It was good times. Um, I had fun with it, but it gives me some. Uh, it is just interesting at how much that that we like to talk and just tell stories, and then how much stuff they do. Like everybody's moving around, and like I have cousins that lived in Japan. I didn't even know that because they were the oldest of the cousins. Like they hung out with my dad a bunch, so like there's like weird stories. Like my dad lived in Hawaii, I guess. When did he live in Hawaii? Live in Hawaii. I know he lived in Texas and the Philippines and spent some time in Alaska. But like conceptually, he was in Hawaii. He did live in Colorado for a minute, didn't he? Why do I think my dad has a connection to Colorado? I don't know. He might come on. Uh, Busy time of year. He's still texting. So family tree project is slowly coming along. Um, there is no clear like end game of this thing, which is totally cool. Like I don't have a very I don't have a particular direction and route that I wanted to go in yet. So I think I'm just gonna just enjoy hanging out with everybody, which was fun. I had a blast. We got some more coming up soon, so I'm really excited to see possibly aunt and uncle. I haven't talked to them in forever, and at the same time, uh, I don't think we've ever had any like real long conversations. This will be the longest conversation we've ever had with some of these people. So that's the fun part about all of this. Yeah, I just recorded a bunch. Trying to think, maybe because they were there. Then how did they get back down to Phoenix? Oh, because he was on the base. Okay, that's why. Okay, so maybe stationed up there, then maybe came back down here. Maybe. Okay, that makes sense. Um, somewhere across this whole thing, it would be interesting. Yeah, find out where. Like, but again, he was in Hawaii. Like, what was he in Hawaii for? That would have been in the early '80s. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out though. We'll see what my dad wants to come on and talk about. So whenever those come out though, holy crap! I'm gonna get as much as I can out of that guy. Fascinating. So, curious. Very curious guy right now. All right, what else have we been doing? This is a very small realization that the award show for the anniversary show is falling apart. Um, it's the summer. We got all kinds of stuff happening this summer, and it's buttoned up against my the dates for the anniversary show. Not focusing like on worrying about the negative sides of things. I'm kind of just because like I can't freak out when we're going to record if I don't know what we're recording, right? But I did fall down a hole today of just watching like, every monologue from every award show that I can find. Um, there was a minute where I was like, maybe like Billy Crystal, I could do a musical number, and then realized I can't dance or sing, and I can't. Yeah, so we're not going to do that. But yes, I'm prepping for my monologue intro for the award show because I think if you want it to be a real award show, we're giving out awards and 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 things and recognizing um, people and episodes that have helped Whimsy over the last 2 years. I think it is only appropriate that we have a monologue. Some of the longest monologues, Ellen's ran roughly 10, 11 minutes on hers. Kimmel runs a little bit on the longer side. He's like a 15, 18-minute monologue. Billy Crystal, like 12. So I'm just trying to think, could I come up with like a interesting, fun award show like themed monologue? So uh, I don't think I'm gonna go for like the 10-minute, but like okay, so here's the problems that I'm going to run into. Okay, um, I could probably write it and be happy with it. Like I think I can come up with ideas on monologue. I got months in advance to record to write this thing. But here's the problem that I'm going to run into. I can't read out loud, and I'm not super good at memorizing 7 minutes worth of content. So we will figure out what that looks like as we move on. Um, yeah, I still want to like. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this monologue thing. Like the monologue is the one thing holding me back from doing a bigger like show here. If I could somehow consistently write like a 4 minute monologue every Monday, I would straight like overnight talk show this whole thing. But yeah, can't do it. I wonder if I can read cue cards because like I don't know. I don't know, but I did fall down this hole. I did watch a bunch of them. Um, most of the good ones are like obviously your Emmys and your Oscars. Gervais did a bunch of Golden Globes ones right before Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. So I don't know. It was interesting. Here's what was fun though. Okay, what was fun about watching all of these different award shows is so like I watched Billy Crystal in the 90s, and then you had Kimmel, and then Ellen in like the earlys, and then right. But if I watched 10 different monologues across the years, it is fun to see Meryl Streep in every one of those fucking things, man. Like um, Jack Nicholson up through like the mid 2010s, probably like the zeros. Like the same actors are always there, and they're always getting punked. Like Meryl Streep keeps getting like the every year she gets the joke, a joke told about her. But it was fun just to watch all these people over the years have just still working and still going to award shows. So I do like a good. I don't know what are the statistics on this? Hold on. When you were when you were on Carson, right? You want to be first guest, right? Because uh, studies or the networks proved after the monologue, your viewership drops in half, right? So people would stay up late just to watch Carson's monologue, and then by like what 10, 15, it completely just drops off. So that's what I'm working on. I'm doing some research. I'm not goofing off watching videos. I'm researching. That's what I'm going to tell my son. And he's like, all you do is watch videos about monologues. When did that? I was listening to something else, and I'm like, I don't do voices, right? And I'm like, I guess I do. I do do. That's my son. I do a son voice. That's awesome.
Go check.
Real quick, I didn't realize I didn't have that much going on this week. To be honest with you, um, my mom jinxed us all. I am currently warm in my house. Like she's noticing it was getting warm. She's already looking at. She's preparing. Shit, maybe I jinxed it. I jinxed it. I said it first. Oh, I was gonna blame my mom because today she's like preparing to start turning on the AC, and I'm like, what? Rhiannon and I were like, you're crazy, lady. It wasn't that hot last night. So I'm like, but on Saturday, I did talk about how upset I was going to be that I was going to have to turn the AC on. And because I said something, we're all going to have to turn it on earlier. My apologies, everybody. I have this wicked power that I'm only now acknowledging, and I'm going to learn how to harness this power better. So, uh, man, it is warm in here, though. Not like crazy warm. Let's not get crazy. Like, I could put a small fan on and be okay. But sorry, everybody. Like, now, real quick. Okay, hold on. I am currently not LLC'd. Uh, so, uh, Chasing the Whimsy, okay, is a business with no business license, I guess, basically, okay? So, here's the differences, okay? So, because I make money off of the podcast, I have to acknowledge it as such, right? So, similar to like if I had an Etsy shop and I was making stuff, right? I don't have to have a business license uh, like an LLC to make stuff and mail them out to you guys, right? So, like, what's the difference between like just being a podcaster versus a podcast with an LLC? The main reason that you do it is if in the case of any lawsuit of any kind, if anybody wanted to sue me, if I have the LLC, they can only take what Whimsy is worth, not my house. So Am I at risk having just now admitted to having a superpower and not fully understanding how to control this power? Have I just opened myself up? Can my mom sue me now for uh, I had to turn my AC on earlier than normal because my son has a superpower and I need him to pay for my electric bills. I don't think she would ever do that. But at the same time, she's didn't hold on. I'm noticing and remembering things now. Breakfast was nice. We had a very good breakfast. Grandma was there. Brianna was there. We're all hanging out. When she mentioned how hot it was, she did get a little upset. She did get a little ragey. There might be hey, it's all fun and games until I'm hot. And now I'm upset. So I've upset my mom inadvertently. She should sue for defamation since you tried to blame her in a public forum. But I did retract that. I said it was my fault because I went back on Saturday. Kelly's all on mom's side, whatever. Kelly's like, because Kelly and I had a conversation. She's like, well, there's a situation in which Ben is more valuable than the other situation. You guys are all coming after me. Um, so in this public forum, I'm going to retract. This says my mom did not cause the upcoming heat wave. It was me. But now can I get sued because now I'm global warming 100% on your mom's side. You should because she's a fucking great person. And I just willy-nilly just use my power just saying things out loud. Which means that there's a chance that we win the lottery soon because that conversation happened. Yes. Kelly's always ragey when it's hot. So is the kid. Man, that girl, uh, she gets in the car and she just refuses to do anything. She just gets because she comes in the front seat with me now, right? And I walk around so I can buckle her in, and she's like, "I'm not going anywhere." She's like, "It just looks hot," and I'm like, "You don't even know what that means." She's like she's putting it all together to be like, "I'm not sitting down for nothing." So we got to air it out for a second. Yeah, heat sucks. What does the forecast look like? Does anybody know? Like, we know what the next. Because we saw some rain, which was super cool, semi recently. What are we doing tomorrow? Good Lord, 94 tomorrow? And it drops back down into like the 80s and then a very nice 73 Saturday. I can handle that. So my apologies, everybody. Here, here's a little commercial for you guys. So you guys can forget that I have a superpower.
Out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his two kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30 plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter at Chase the Whimsy and on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing the Whimsy.
What have I been watching this week? So, interesting week. Watched a bunch of stuff that I wanted to watch that was older, right? I got through Succession, whatever was before Succession, right? Um, Happy Place and Lopez versus Lopez. For whatever reason, I think they're like on a break. So there's a few things there's like a few gaps in my TV. So I'm like, let's find out what else is on. Not worth a slide. Suits LA, complete garbage. It's garbage. All right, new show, Apple TV, Dope Thieves, Dope Thief. One episode, not horrible. A little dark and gritty. Two guys are hustling. They're trying to steal from meth labs, right? They're gonna pretend they're DEA. They break in all the hustle and bustle, rob meth houses. That's the okay. Um, First episode, things get a little crazy. So, uh, not bad. Uh, I don't know. I'm watching it. I'm keeping my eye on this thing. But it did come out this week. If you have Apple TV, consider it. But then there's also Happy Face. Started on the 20th. Okay, so here's a couple of things, right? And I'm not taking all the credit for it, okay? Because I'm not LLC'd. My biggest complaint with any new series right now is that they need to have two episode premieres, and Happy Face did that. Thank you, Happy Face. It's not a true story of the Happy Face killer. Okay. Dennis Quaid plays serial killer dad, right? I'll tell you where some victims are if you talk to me. Okay. Premise of the whole show. Not bad. I don't know if it's as good as we were thinking it was going to be. It definitely needed the 2 episodes. So, like, 100%. Glad you got the 2 episodes. Like, if you had to wait another week for episode 2, you probably it's not good. You need longer premieres. That's all I'm getting at. But because of whatever, so not bad. It is worth a watch, and it is worth waiting for. I don't like. Halfway through episode 2, there was a moment. She's being interviewed. That just pulled me away from the whole thing. I didn't like any of it. The father-daughter relationship is interesting. The idea that we're trying to close cold cases and find bodies, that part is fun. There's this weird, like, hidden agenda in the middle of it somewhere that kind of like but that's only me. I don't think most people will butt up against it. But Happy Face, was that NBC? Paramount, whatever Paramount is. Mom's waiting on it. She's got a couple of things she's got to finish up on, so I won't go too much into it. But she was excited for it, and there is a reason to be excited for it because it is actually it's a decent show. I don't know what season 2 looks like. That's the only problem I have with some of these based on real life. You can maybe get 2 seasons out of it, right? I don't know how you go further after that. Like, I think we're getting to the place where we're getting better with limited series shows. So if this story only takes 24 episodes and 2 seasons to tell, then so be it. But it's also a network show. So I know network shows aren't big on limited series. So we'll see. This guy right here I found. Okay. Paradise. This looked weird and like not good in its original trailer. This show is fantastic. like, oh my, like this is actually really good. Um, I watched the trailer early on and I was like, I'm not watching this thing. I didn't. It's already done. Like it's already done with season one. I went back. I killed this thing. There is something interesting about this show. Um, it reminds me. There's uh, not so much Twin Peaks um, or Wayward Pines, like, but there's. It's interesting. There's some flashback stuff, but they do it very nicely. Like it's not all over. Like the commercial made it look like fucking wonky. Um, Situation in which uh, president dies, we have to investigate. There's a conspiracy, and like hidden assassins of sorts. So there's some cloak and dagger stuff in here. Uh, Plays out very well. Things like I think he did run 10 episodes, maybe 8. I think it was 10. This was a hidden gem. Um, I know a couple people have already watched it and whatever. Uh, it stayed way off my radar, but I did watch it and it hooked me after 2 episodes. Like the first episode, it hooks you, but then you're like, well, let me see what the rest of this thing looks like. And then after 2, you're like, I gotta watch this whole thing. Paradise. I'll watch season 2. That's all. Yeah, like maybe that's the barometer, right? Like I'm not coming back. I'm coming back. Interesting story. I like it. All right. And now here's where I'm like a little pissed off, mom and grandma. How come no one told me about this thing? We're at the end of season 2. This thing's been out for like a minimum 2 years, and nobody told me about this show. We hear me talk about Tracker and how I rail against Tracker because I think Tracker barely is a good show. Like barely. Like this show is so much better. Like this is Tracker, but entertaining. Um, okay, in the hold on, let me see if I can get you guys. Let me zoom this mother in. All right, so okay, so you got the chick in the middle, and then on the right you have a man with a beard. Do you know who that is? That is Zach Morris. Who's that? Mark Paul Gosselaar? Oh, dude, he's playing a serial uh he plays a serial kidnapper, right? Because it's Tracker but good. So uh such a good story. Okay, here's the honest review of this thing. 2 episodes in, I'm like, I don't know if I like these people. Uh, but there's something gripping about this thing. You eventually learn to like the cast is huge. Like what it kills me is like Criminal Minds, any of the NCISs, right? Like why do we have so many people on a team, right? I think like Tracker, maybe okay. You got him, you got the lady who works in the thing, and you got her lawyer, and then the lawyer friend. 3, and then you got the tech guy, right? So we shoehorn him in for whatever reason, right? The tech guy is only in there because Found has a tech guy. So what, we're like one more person. Okay, I don't know. I Some of these people rub me wrong because it's all like it's a good show, man. This was like want to talk about hidden gems? This guy right here, Found. I'm glad I found it. Mom's been watching it. She's like, love the show. Well, thanks for the heads up, lady. I'm out here pitching like fucking random stuff. You're telling me there's gold out there? Um, it had some like remember the following from like 2012, 13? There's a little bit of those vibes, right? Some Silence of the Lamb vibes. Ongoing story. Uh, like Tracker, the problem I have is like it's like what call it 50 minutes, 42 minutes. So 42 minutes. He's doing all kinds of stuff for like 38 minutes. And then they're like, we're going to give you like 4 minutes per episode of the overall arcing story. This thing is like the case of the week. That takes seconds. Like, like they're, it's only there so they can like get the rest of the story out there. Uh, Fascinating story. We got all the people on her team are broken in some way. POW that was held captive. We have other kidnapped survivor. We got an agoraphobe, and then you got a mom with a missing kid. Like, and they're all broken, but they're all there helping each other out. And it's not like too heavy-handed to be like, we support you. We solve everything with hugs. No, they're like, what's super funny, like this, like I dig this show. Like someone has a problem, like one of the guys is like, oh, I'm working through some stuff, and then everybody's like, let us know if you need anything, and they're like, fuck off, we got to go save a kid, and then they do, and then like, I love it, man. Like everybody's broken, and they're like, I get you're broken. We're here if you need us, but until then, like, let's go find a missing kid. Um, and then Zach Morris over there doing some fantastic work as as main bad guy, sir. There's some hypocrisy in there, and they lean into it, right? So this show is fantastic. I don't care what you get. Like, why this never came up on my radar until this week, I don't know. But I'm glad that this thing is out there. This show is so much fun. All right, that's all I got for you guys right now. Found. Check out Found. And check out Paradise. Paradise is actually a fairly simple watch. Interesting stuff. Check it out. I'm missing buttons. Here we go.
In the
Right. There was supposed to be a slide just before that. My bad. All right. I'm playing with some things. Okay. We're going to see how we're beta testing some stuff. Okay. A lot of AI work on this thing. Okay. Because because one, it's a new toy. I've never done this much AI video work. So I'm curious on what it looks like. I think it's interesting. I don't have a lot of sound sometimes where I'm at, so I don't know what it sounds like necessarily. So we're just trying it out. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm not going to defend anything. It is what it is. I need 6 minutes to fill in a show, so this is what you guys got. It's gonna be interesting. It does have sound, so I know that works. Um, but it is a cool little toy. And then I did add a little bit to it. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna drop you guys down this interesting rabbit hole, right? There's gonna be some new components to it, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see what we like about this, and see if we can tweak it a little bit for some future stuff. Because there's no slide for me to intro it, whatever, I guess. Is I brought up the idea on Saturday for like a whimsy library of some kind, right? It's acknowledging certain pieces of literature or media that kind of help shape whimsy a little bit, right? So I mentioned the uh, Library of Congress. I think that's right. So every year they take a bunch of stuff, media, and they store it. Ooh, that camera is not working. Was it, or it looked a little choppy for a second, right? Like, am I losing my mind? I might be losing my mind. Okay. Um, so the Library of Congress adds different things, TV, movies, books, uh, into like this archive system of like this represents an X of society, where we're at in the world, the U.S. or whatever. Like, boom, we're gonna throw it in here. We're gonna archive it. Okay, but along the same lines, and uh, right, is today's subject, right? Like the internet, right? There's hundreds and there are millions of websites, and uh, is there a way to track all these websites over time? Because what happens is, like, if I stop paying for chasingthewhimsy.com, after X number of years, this site just dies, right? Or until someone else buys it. But then the site would go dormant, and you wouldn't be able to access it anymore. Um, if you got some of like old timey ones from like way early back in the day, sometimes like there's like problems with the links, or the site, and you can no longer access them, or they get taken down by the FBI, or um, it was a weird art school project that was up and then is taken down. But for this idea that in a digital age with everything on the internet, that something can get lost on the internet is kind of interesting. So let me go ahead and play this for a little bit for you guys. I think I have a spot in the middle and then a second part. So we're just testing this out, everybody. We're gonna see how this works.
The ever-churning waters of the internet, websites appear and disappear with alarming frequency. The Wayback Machine serves as a digital time capsule. Mid-1990s, Brewster Kahle and Bruce Gilead recognized the web's fragility and founded the Internet Archive in 1996. The Wayback Machine was officially launched in 2001, aiming for universal access to all knowledge. Using automated web crawlers, the Wayback Machine archived billions of web pages, enabling us to access the digital past. The Wayback Machine serves as a crucial historical record, providing primary source material for researchers and journalists. Imagine researching the dot-com boom without access to its original websites. The Wayback Machine complements traditional research.
So obviously, since starting the podcast and doing all this stuff, I got hit with this thing of what happens when I lose memories. And basically that's all the internet is made up of, is a bunch of websites filled with a bunch of like random memories and stuff. So very similar to the Library of Congress, right? They created the Internet Archives. Since its creation, they have taken snapshots, and basically that's all the internet is made up of, is a bunch of 800 billion web pages. So very similar to 15 million audio recordings, right? Live concerts, 10 million videos, news segments. Like the idea of the so the Library of Congress is going to track important pieces of art, right? That people create, like Clerks. People like Library of Congress 2 years ago was like, Clerks is an important piece of film. We want to introduce it into there, right? So, in a way, it would be. So that's what they're doing. What the Internet Archives are doing, that people create, like Clerks. People like Library of Congress 2 years ago was like, Clerks is an important piece of film. We want to introduce it into into there, right? So I wasn't playing on my phone though. In a way, it would be. So that's what they're doing. What the Internet Archive, like, it's interesting, right? Because like Who like the fact that they're recording all these things from the internet. We could find old news things from like Baby Jane who fell down the well, right? 9/11 footage, like all those old timey um, like news things. Like we have copies of those now. Problem like because like if you think about it, like old newspapers, like um, I went back looking for old newspaper clippings and stuff. Some of the stuff that they finally had digitized, like half of the newspapers all ripped up, right? Like if you go back and look for like an 1890s newspaper, like it sat in a box in a warehouse for years, and then all of a sudden it was like deteriorated, so that the only digital copy they were able to get of it was a picture of it. So the Internet Archives are doing some really interesting things. I don't like you almost don't like. Do we really need a snapshot of 25-year-old web pages? Probably not, but you never know. So here's a couple of examples, right? Check these out. Yahoo. Yahoo.com looked like in '04. Now, if I paid it now, if, oh, gotcha. I understand what you're saying. If I paid attention, I should have pulled up all these websites so you can see them live. In theory, that's not that hard, right? I can do that still. Okay, here's Yahoo. All right. All right. So if we look at this is what Yahoo looked like originally. And then here's what it looks like. In theory, that's not that hard, right? I can do that still. Now I don't. Here it is. This tab. This tab. This tab. All right. So here's what Yahoo looks like now. Like you still have the building blocks of what it's like it still is, but look at all these hyperlinks. Like there's so many hyperlinks of everything. Um, like it's crazy. Some of the because they're taking so many pictures or capturing so many things. Some of these, like when you go online to the Internet Archive, some of them are functional. Like you can click the link and it'll take you to a different link. So they're like semi-functional to see what it looked like in '04. What other ones do I have in here? Hold on. Play. All right. That's what Yahoo looked like in 2000. Like even like like they didn't even have like, the internet didn't even have pictures. Like you couldn't even put a picture on the fucking web page. Now, like all you get, look, you got running ads, you got all kinds of stuff in here. This guy right here is the guy from Dope Thief. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Hollywood says he's the most versatile actor. That's why you should watch Dope Thief. Like, how interesting is that? That just happened to pull up. Wait, look, you scroll down this thing. Like how, like, hold on, I forgot I didn't even have your page up. But look, like here's what the page looks like now. Pictures everywhere. Look at all this stuff. We got the weather over here. Uh, we got news clippings. We got all kinds of stuff. Like it is interesting to see how the internet has evolved over the years. Anybody remember MySpace? Okay. MySpace was a thing before the MySpace we know. This is the original 2000 page of MySpace. This is the page that we all recognize. That's the old one. Tom would be here in the corner, the login page. I think this one was taken in '03, '04. That's Google's original page, right? We still get the like it's still very basic, but if you go to like if you have a profile set up, sometimes it goes. Hold on. Looks a lot like the Yahoo one. Um, so can't figure out how to get to my real Google. Anyway, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Back from the 19. Look at that. What is that? 97. This picture was November 11th, 1998. Here's what YouTube used to look like. Looks basically the same now. Ish. But just a pic, yeah. But this one goes back a way. This one, if anybody, most, I don't know, Kelly might know this one. What this is? Me at the zoo is the first video ever posted on YouTube. And there's dates on there if I didn't write down. But yeah, that's what YouTube used to look like. Early. You click on the picture and like. But I don't know. There's something interesting being able to go back and see what the very first YouTube page video looked like. And it would be the creator at the zoo. I don't even think. And here's what's interesting about this, right? You're like, okay, cool. Like I care. I read the documentary or the Wikipedia page that says it was the first video on YouTube. But what we're running into is over time that video no longer exists. You can't find that video. There's only screenshots and like little snippets of it. So what the Internet Archive is trying to do is like, let's find some of these things before they go down. Like the idea that Whimsy at some point, like 30 years from now, you can't find any of these. Oh man, I should go and type us in and see if the Internet Archives is tracking me. Oh, that'd be super meta. 30 years from now, you're gonna find this me talking about them, talking about me disappearing. What? Interesting stuff, man. They're doing what I'm doing as a podcast, doing extreme, in which they're tracking billions and billions of links.
The Wayback Machine plays a vital role in digital preservation, safeguarding against link rot, where web links become broken and content inaccessible. It's important for academic papers, news articles, and legal documents that rely on specific online references, ensuring continued access to verifiable information. The Wayback Machine can retrieve information from taken down websites, compare different versions over time, or provide a nostalgic trip down memory lane. However, it raises ethical and legal considerations like copyright infringement, potential misuse of archived data, and the right to be forgotten. Despite these challenges, the Wayback Machine remains essential in preserving the digital past for the benefit of the future.
It is interesting. I look at it for the more nostalgia route. I'm sure we could probably dive into the ethics of the Wayback Machine, but I like old. I muted it, but I like old timey TV shows. Like the idea that I can watch. I watched. I'm assuming it was a TV special because that's all they had back then. But they had 20 years of Oscars from the 60s to the 80s. And it's just fascinating to see what the Oscars look like in the time before I was even born. And just the idea that all that stuff will be lost, like kind of bothers me. I don't want all that shit lost. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. The whole idea of being able to remember the past is just fun to me. Um, there are I'm sure that the people who created it are using it more for like historical purposes and like they said fact checking. Like, I like it for the nostalgia purpose. I just like the idea that I'm gonna see if I can go back and find some some old stuff. Maybe I'll play with it a little bit because you go on the website, dude, it takes forever to load because they're up like you're uploading all kinds of stuff. Like there's just so much stuff. Like you could type in 9/11, it'll take a couple of minutes to pull, but they'll give you a million and a half news articles, newspaper covers, video, different region um, newscasts. So if you're like, what did what did it look like in like Alabama versus New York versus Oregon? Like you'll have the difference of those clips. Oh, oh, fascinating stuff to me. I did try typing my name in there. Nothing came up. I'm still looking. I'm still looking. We'll see. See somewhere, someone in my family, my tree, my lineage would have to be somewhere in 800 billion websites of just like, oh, it'd be interesting. Anyway, but yeah, that's the Wayback Machine, guys. The Internet Archive, aka Wayback Machine, aka um, the what's interesting is it started what in 2001. So 24 years ago, there was a bunch of people that are like, we should probably track some of these websites. Uh, not for any particular reason, just because like it's growing so fast. Like there is one thing though that kind of and I'll sit and think about it for a minute is that second video, right? When they were talking about the ethical issues, the idea that something has the right to be forgotten is kind of weird. And I don't know how I feel about that particular statement. I'm just throwing that out there. That was a random, like, in the moment mind pocket. I don't fully understand what that particular phrase or statement is. In case someone was writing that down for me.
Fans,
We're
we
done with
wanted
the
to
show
take
almost.
a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel, @ChasingTheWhimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Man, I forgot to take Anna off of this one, but Andy, Nikki, your family, Megan, your family, Joyce, Ann, Enderfrog, EC1, Booster, Violet, my dad, Courtney. Thank you guys for signing up for the two pay levels on Patreon. Thanks to those of you who are on the free. You need to be on at least the free. I'm reaching out to people. I got award show stuff that conceptually needs this trick worked on a few weeks earlier than planned. So anything related to like some projects, merch, you can find all those updates on the Patreon. We also raising some money for some kids. Some kids or somebody. Just giving back a little bit. We're community here. I want to try to help out a little bit. You guys help me out. I'm gonna, on your behalf, I'm gonna help out some others. Um, it's interesting. I enjoy it. I like the idea of giving back. So sign up for the Patreon. If you do one of the pay tiers, you're gonna help go towards this second bar, raise some money for some people. Mm, yeah, so I got for you guys. Nice, easy. I got a couple interviews today. 2 more. Take a small nap. Um, Good week. Like another good week. No complaints. Super tired. No. Super don't want to wake up, but when I wake up, I'm doing okay. Um, Interesting week. Had good times. Liam and I had decent conversation yesterday. Liked it. Sophie and I went to the park. Had a blast. She met a little girl, Peyton. They were, but it's so funny. Here's what I love about a 4-year-old. I'm gonna deal with this, dude. Life would be so much better for all of us if we were all 4 again. She goes to the park, sees a little girl, right? They kind of look at each other, and then instantly, dad, like I'm watching her. She's on the same playset, the same slide. Comes down after looking at this little girl, and was like, "Hey, can I go play with my friend?" I'm like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "You already were," but the idea that she comes down and talks to me, and she's like, "I just looked at this lady. We shared the look, and for like 20 minutes, man, like they were fucking best friends." Like to be 4 again, I love it. That kid is so cool. Um, when everything else, everywhere else looks like garbage, being an adult is garbage. Uh, fuck, find yourself a 4-year-old, man. They'll put some shit into perspective. Just gotta hang out, color by the slide with your new friend that you just met. All right, you guys have a good night. Uh, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Yeah, yeah. Cause I already got a couple decent mind pockets for Saturday. Saturday we'll hang out. Friday, 2 episodes of Whimsy with the Z. Uh, if you're caught up, great. If not, hey, catch up on some really cool, really fun stuff coming up. We're running into the end of the year. We're gonna find out what Alice is up to. We're gonna see how Mark is doing. It's gonna be good times. And then you can go back last week. Dean, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go back to school, in person, not in person? When is an appropriate time to think about colleges? All those fun questions. Go back and listen to them. All right, you guys have a good night. And Whimsy. Wrong button. Whimsy.